You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. The game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Triviality.
The cream of the crop!
All right, and welcome to Triviality, the show where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. Today we're going to be having a one-on-one match between Ken and Neil. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
I'm all right, thanks.
All right, and Jeff is going to be our scorekeeper today. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, pretty well. Hi, Jeff.
So the format of our game is going to be the same as it always is. It's going to be 2 rounds of 10 questions at 10 points apiece. We're going to have a swing round where you're going to have a chance to make up some points. And then a final round where contestants can wager up to 30 points in 5 categories, up to the amount of points that they have accumulated so far. So you guys ready to play the game?
Good to go. Let's do it.
All right. So the first question for you is, business students might be excited to know that the little ball in your can of Guinness is called this.
Oh, man.
The little ball in your can of Guinness?
Correct.
I didn't know there was a ball in the can of Guinness.
Well, I have an answer. I don't believe it's correct.
Okay, as someone who doesn't drink, I put an answer down that's most definitely
two,
wrong.
2 non-drinkers.
Yeah, definitely writing to my crowd here. So, Neil, why don't we start with you?
I went with the Blarney Stone.
Oh.
I'm sure that's it.
A good guess.
So I think those are for aeration purposes, but I don't know the specific name, so I just put aerator.
Okay, so that is the purpose of them. The clue is business students. They're actually referred to as widgets. It releases nitrogen when open to create a draft experience.
There you go.
Which is important for the Guinness. Yeah.
Okay.
So in business, kind of any sort of generic term for a product is called a widget.
I love how Jeff, our scorekeeper, is grinning at us knowing that he had the answer right, and he's going to be defeating us in silent protest.
Non-drinker.
So much of a competitor he wants to play, even when he's just keeping score. So
None of us are Mormon, but none of us drink.
Oh, right.
Except for Matt.
I couldn't be Mormon. I couldn't have coffee then.
Matt drinks too
Wouldn't
much,
happen.
and then he gets mad.
That's what happens. Yep. All right, so maybe this next question is probably not going to be any easier for you guys because the category is going to be sports. What MLB player was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis?
Oh, I can't think of his name. I think I know who it is, too, that you're thinking of. And it's a pitcher.
Could I get that condition one more time?
Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And there's a really good chance I'm pronouncing that wrong, so just make sure you at me as much as possible and let me know how wrong I am. All right, Ken's in. Neil's making faces like it's right on the tip of his tongue.
Oh, this is making me so angry. I think it's Jim something, and it's the guy who has one hand who pitches, and he switches his glove over his appendages. Oh man, Jim. Yeah. Okay, I'm locked in.
All right. So, Neil, what did you say?
Jim Abbott.
Okay.
I just put Lou Gehrig because I don't follow baseball.
Mm-hmm. So Jim Abbott was the player who had part of his arm was not there, so he had to switch the glove between his hands. But the answer is actually Lou Gehrig. That's commonly referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease.
I thought that might be it. I was trying to break down the condition based on what it was called, but I couldn't get all of it.
So it is ALS.
That wasn't a clue.
Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
When I heard lateral, I was thinking that you were like trying to be cutesy, and we're talking about his.
I thought you were going to get to like Tommy John was what you were going for, which is like the surgery.
Yeah, Tommy John surgery. Yeah.
All
Did
right.
Ken get that one right?
Ken did get that one correct.
Great. Okay.
So it's 10-0 right now. which I'll let the scorekeeper say next time.
Fair enough. He is in fact correct. It is a blistering 10-0.
Yep. All right, so the next question. According to its jingle, what are the ingredients to the Big Mac?
All of them?
Yes.
Do I have to write it?
No, you could just say it when...
Or if I'm missing one here.
You got yours written?
Yeah, I got mine written.
I could say it. I don't want to write it all out.
Okay, well, you can say it first. I have mine written, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go to Ken first.
So 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
All right.
2 all-beef patties, lettuce, cheese, special sauce, onion, pickle, and a sesame seed bun.
They're both correct, and Ken's is more correct because he said it in the order of the jingle. So
I hate that I know that after all these years.
Was that supposed to be in? I didn't have to do it in order, right?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No. So it was a really popular jingle before they went to "I'm Lovin' It." That was kind of like the slogan that they used, and they would sing the song, which we have a strict no singing rule, so it will not be sung on this show. But rest assured, there is a jingle. All right.
This is like the town in Footloose, except with singing.
What does that mean? That means one of us is sweating, singing alone in like a construction yard when we're not recording.
Oh, that was me, actually.
Yeah, as long as I get to be John Lithgow, we're all good here.
Yeah.
So.
Glad someone else took the heat for that.
All right, so next question. Johnny Cash's chart-topping hit, A Boy Named Sue, was actually written by this noted 1960s children's author.
Not sure if I'm correct.
1960s children's author.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of 2 things I think this might be, but I think I'm okay on this.
Well, the only 2 names that are in my head are Shel Silverstein and Dr. Seuss, but it doesn't seem... Dr. Seuss seems like it'd be a weird, kooky answer for a trivia show, so I guess... Okay.
All right, so Neil, what are you going with?
I'm just going to go with Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
I'm going with Shel Silverstein.
Okay, well, those were 2 names. You were...
They were 2 names?
Yeah, those were both 60s children's author. You should have went with your first pick and said Shel Silverstein, because the answer is Shel Silverstein.
Yeah, I think I have heard that one before, and he just immediately jumped out at me.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that fact before.
There's a book named A Boy Named Sue as well as the song. And there's actually Shel Silverstein made a song by the same name, too. So... performed it as well. All right. What's the scores at so far?
So after 4 scores, Ken is in the lead at 30 and Neil at 10.
All right. So hopefully some room for Neil to catch up here. The next question. Kids Bop Volume 1 contained wonderful covers of hit songs such as All Star, Bye Bye Bye, and Slide. Within 1 year, when did this album come out?
Somebody
once told me the world is
gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Within 1 year, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I've got an answer.
All right, Ken?
Written.
I was trying to think of my spread, and I think I wasn't trying to get the exact year, but I'm just using it to get the spread.
Bye bye bye.
Do not like Google Dolls, that's for sure.
Ooh, I might be too early here.
So why don't you slide, Neil?
I'm gonna. Okay.
Saying bye 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 to his
I'm
previous
going
answer.
one more year into the future of my former answer.
All right, Neil. Why don't we start with you?
I just went with 02.
Okay.
I went a little earlier with 99. I had originally written 98.
No Strings Attached was not released in 1999. It was post 1999 by NSYNC.
So Neil is correct on that as well. Kids Bop Volume 1 came out in 2001, giving you a range of 2000 to 2002.
I was going to say 2001.
I'm not ashamed that I didn't know the answer to that.
I feel like Slide can throw you off because that
Slide
is an earlier
seemed
song.
earlier.
It is
That threw me off.
Same thing with
All Star seemed about 2000-ish.
Yeah, No Strings Attached was 2001. High-selling album at the time.
That's okay. I missed the Kids Bops.
Do you guys know how many Kids Bops there are now?
16?
20.
There's I believe it was 17 last count.
Why'd you just know that?
I worked with kids for a while.
Well, if you figure there's one a
You're
year
a
from
weirdo.
2001 to 2000.
Other little trivia fact for you: Justin Timberlake helped compose "I'm Lovin' It," that song. So you're welcome, McDonald's.
To go back to the McDonald's jingle. All right, so next question. True or false? Chicago Cubs slugger Sammy Sosa accounts for nearly 40% of all the 60 home run seasons ever recorded in Major League Baseball.
So to clarify, you're saying he hit multiple 60 home run seasons to account for 40% of all of them?
Yes, individual seasons where a person has hit 60 home runs. Sammy Sosa accounts for nearly 40% of those seasons.
Purely guessing on my part.
All right. What was your guess, Ken?
That seemed high to me, so I said false.
Okay.
I went with true, mainly because the Roger Maris season, was the famous 161, and then when him and McGuire were competing against each other, I know he went over 60, so I'm just assuming that if he only did that once, that it would be around 40%, so I went with true.
So the answer is true. He has 3 out of the 8 seasons, accounting for 37.5%. He hit 66 in 98, 64 in 01, and 63 in 99. Roger Maris being one of the other ones, Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds with 2 of them.
I thought there was more than that.
Yeah.
I don't really follow. So.
It was really that outside of Roger Maris, it was that one boost, which they might have had a little bit of help apparently in reaching those numbers.
They had a little bit of boost of
all
their
of
own.
Yeah, so 99% of them obviously came in that one cluster from 98 through 2004.
So, and with that answer, the score is tied.
I'm back, baby.
Neil and Ken both have a 30-point game going.
I'm not ashamed of what I missed.
You had to throw an NSYNC question at me. That's what happens.
I'll have to remember that's in your wheelhouse for next time. I'll scratch my Lance Bass question for later on.
I have been playing along and I have not missed a question yet.
All right.
Oh, Jeff, you're so intelligent.
It's a good thing that we made it the scorekeeper of this one.
We'll have to see how Jeff does next week.
Yeah. When he doesn't play again. He's trying to torture all of you.
He is now the permanent scorekeeper from now on. So, all right. So,
I mean, how unlikely is that? Whatever.
All right. So next question. In 1999, this hot toy was banned from the National Security Agency's Maryland headquarters for security purposes.
Can I get that one more time?
Yep. In 1999, this hot toy was banned from the National Security Agency's Maryland headquarters for security purposes.
Okay, I got that one.
Okay.
I think the reasoning behind this is they thought the toy would repeat national secrets, so I'm going with Furby.
Okay.
I also said Furby.
The correct answer is Furby. That was the reasoning behind it. They were afraid because the point of the Furby is that it comes with its own language, Furbish, and then is taught English by the users. So if it was kept in there, it can possibly learn and repeat what people were saying in the office.
What year was that again?
1999.
That would be a real tragedy if somebody were to just, go repeating national secrets on, say, Twitter or something like that. That would be...
Or in a crowded dining hall.
That would probably be bad, right?
Well, that would never happen. So
no.
We don't have to worry about that.
Thank God we don't have to cross that bridge.
Yes. In our podcast recorded in 2016. All right, sports. Again, I keep doing this to you guys. I apologize. This NFL franchise launched a million schoolboy fantasies with the introduction of the first professional cheerleading squad in the 1970s.
Professional sports franchise.
Mm-hmm.
First cheerleading squad. Okay.
I think there's an obvious answer, but I don't know if that's the trick. So I'm trying to...
All right, we'll start with Ken. What did you say?
My only answer is the obvious answer, so I went with the Cowboys.
Okay.
I went with the Cowboys, but for some reason the Miami Dolphins are sticking in my head for some reason because they're in a warmer climate, but I went with Cowboys.
Well, sometimes the obvious answer is the right answer. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Arguably launched the porn industry with Debbie Does Dallas.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Known for being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Criminally underpaid women trying to do their best.
There's been a couple sports questions, but no porn questions.
Yeah, so I had to work that in there.
So I just want to point out at this point, scores are still tied, 50-50, and Neil on a hot streak. He's 5 out of the last 6 questions.
All right, so next question. According to the official Monopoly rules, what is actually supposed to happen when you land on free parking?
I hate Monopoly. I will not get this correct. What is supposed to happen when you land on free parking?
Correct.
You should hate Monopoly. It's a game stolen from somebody else.
What was that trivia question we had too? Was it Uncle Moneybags? Was that his name? Yeah.
I believe it's Penny.
Rich Uncle Pennybags.
Rich Uncle Pennybags.
I believe is the full name of the guy from.
Yes.
Monopoly.
What is supposed to happen?
Richard Uncle Pennybags.
Okay.
All right. Ken is in.
I haven't played Monopoly in a couple years here.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking, Neil?
Okay.
All right, Neil. What'd you go with?
You get $15.
Okay.
15. It's a little low.
I told you, I hate Monopoly. I have no idea how that game works.
You draw a chance card.
Okay. Well, the actual answer is nothing. It's a free space. A lot of the people who play Monopoly use the free parking as a way to get the money that's put in the middle. A lot of kind of people who haven't read the rules would think that that's actually what's supposed to happen. But
Or house rules.
yeah. So actually, if you land on free space, it's nothing. You don't have to pay anything. You don't get any money. It's just a free space.
I was going to say nothing. I thought that'd be a dumb answer for me.
It's kind of a bit of a douchey question.
I like it though. I like where your head's at.
Okay. Right. So last question of the round. More people in Africa are killed by this animal than any other.
We're talking about directly killed.
Correct.
When you said directly killed, I had to think about what you meant by that.
Well, Ken gave me a hint here because I think
not through secondhand smoke, if that's what you're.
No, I was gonna guess a different. When you said animal, it made my brain work in a different way. I was gonna say something else, but it's for a question I have coming up next week, and I don't want to reveal it. So I'm good.
You're good. All right.
Okay. I said the hippopotamus.
Okay.
Hippopotamus as well.
The correct answer is hippopotamus. They're responsible for killing on average 3,000 people a year.
Don't they have the strongest bite radius?
It's the same as Jeff, 3,000.
Yeah, Jeff was slacking last year. It was only 2,997.
He's been surpassed. All right, so what's the scores heading into the swing round?
That's a great question. So at the end of round 1, scores are tied 60-60 for both Ken and Neil.
Feeling good.
Some high scores.
Interestingly, hippopotamuses?
Hippopotami.
I believe it's hippopotamuses.
I made that
Let's
up.
just go with hippos.
Are
hungry
they're
hippos.
actually notoriously terrible swimmers, and they're very fast in the water because they tend to run along the bottom and then bounce off.
Prolific killers, though.
They are prolific killers nonetheless.
All right, so the swing round today is entitled The Right Stuff. Every single answer is going to have some form of the word right in it.
Okay.
I'm going to ask questions back and forth, each question being worth 10 points. So, by my judgment, I'm going to say Ken is first, because it doesn't really matter. All right. The first question. The 1989 American comedy drama was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
What year?
1989.
I'm going to say Do the Right Thing.
That is correct. All right, for Neil. This 7-time All-Star holds the Mets record for most career RBIs, doubles, amongst other stats.
Well, that's just not fair.
Oh, great. Right is in the answer?
Yes.
Can you repeat the question?
Yep. This 7-time All-Star holds the Mets record for most career RBIs, doubles, amongst other stats. And to make it a little easier, I'll say that he's a current player.
Oh, I don't even follow other than the Cubs, I guess. I'm guessing it's Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T.
I might need a first name.
Wright? Is that correct? W-R-I-G-H-T?
Trying to worm your way into an answer here.
Bartolo Wright.
Oh, so close. It was David Wright.
I'm out, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna answer all my questions.
Oh, good. Okay.
Let's see.
I'm back in.
These one-hit wonders had an awful condition where their attractiveness was detrimental to their health.
Oh, he gets all the easy ones. Come on.
Oh, Right Said Fred.
That is correct. They were so sexy it hurt. This famous American architect was famous for a philosophy that he called organic architecture.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright is correct. Ken, this American nonprofit organization aims to present hope for people struggling with depression, self-injury, and thoughts of suicide.
To Write Love on Her Arms.
That is correct. Neil, Adam Yauch became known for his activism later in his career, but what was his first cause?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. Adam Yauch became known for his activism later in his career,
but
what was his first cause?
To fight for your right to party.
That is correct. One of my favorite ones there.
That was really good. I was like, where's he going with this? And I'm like, okay, I get it.
All right. Ken, on The Honeymooners, Ralph would often threaten Alice with the phrase, "One of these days, Alice."
Bang, zoom. Right to the moon. Well.
Oh, come on.
Because that's one of them. That's not.
Well, that's the saying.
Or is it straight to the moon?
It is straight to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
there's another one.
Right in the kisser.
Yep, pow right in the kisser.
All right.
Are we allowing that?
I'm gonna allow that.
All right.
Yeah. Because I hadn't considered that first part.
I think it was straight to the moon. So if you want to disallow it, you can.
I'm going to allow it.
It's been decreed.
I'll allow it.
If I lose by 10 points, though, Matt might be on next week's episode.
Give him. So Neil is granted some leeway.
Yeah.
If he's
close on another one, maybe I could give him Bartolo right next time.
Give him it. Give him the.
Don't give me that.
No.
All right. This drugstore has over 4,500 locations in the United States.
Rite Aid.
Rite Aid is correct.
You know, I wonder if we should actually not give Ken those points because right is in the answer. So. I mean, playing by strict adherence, he did not give you one where right was in the answer.
Yeah.
Just because it was confusing doesn't mean,
Yeah, let's take those off then.
Right.
Thanks, Jeff.
I mean, it just seems like the most fair. I don't want all our listeners to pout about how we're playing favorites with Ken.
Hey, don't make fun of our listeners, all right?
all you fans of Ken, write your letters to Jeff.
All right. This 1988 single off their album, Hangin' Tough, hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles and topped the UK charts as well.
I don't know.
It is You Got It, The Right Stuff.
I don't know.
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
That would have been too easy for Neil, I felt like.
Yeah.
So these two pioneers are known for their landmark flight 4 miles south of Cape Hawk. Yes, I need first and last names.
Ooh. Wilbur and I always forget the other guy. Wilbur Wright and Henry.
Think Redenbacher.
Yeah.
Orville?
It was Orville.
I knew it was a weird name, too, and I should have said Henry.
All right. So what were the scores after the swing round?
So the swing round did nothing to really move the needle. Both of our contestants got 3 right answers. So if we add those into the previous, adding 30 points for each, the total is at 90 apiece now.
Right.
Still dead even through the half.
All right. A bit of a high-scoring affair today. All right, so first question of the second round. While Millard Fillmore was the first president to install a bathtub in the White House, this hefty president reportedly got stuck in it the first time and had to order a bigger one.
I'm in.
Me too.
All right. Ken?
I believe that was Taft.
The correct answer is William Taft. And I say reportedly because there's a lot of stories that kind of say that never happened, but it became kind of a popular urban legend around the White House.
So much more interestingly, I think, wasn't he the first president to throw out a pitch at a baseball game or a World Series game?
That I would not know. That sounds like an answer.
Really? What year was that? What year was he president?
So he would have been president after Roosevelt split the vote in 1912. So he'd have been president from 13 to... No, he would... I'm sorry. They split, and then 12 was when Woodrow Wilson got in, so it would have been 1908 to 1912. Or 1909 to 1913.
It does say William Taft started the American tradition of presidential first pitches in 1910 at Griffith Stadium, Washington Senators.
All right, bonus points for Jeff.
All right, so I get points that are completely meaningless this game.
You can carry him over to your next game.
You get the Who's Line points.
That's right, the points don't matter.
All right. So, a law extending daylight savings time from the last day of October to November went into effect in 2007, due in large part to the lobbyists of this industry.
Can I get that one more time?
Yep. A law extending daylight savings time from the last day of October to November went into effect in 2007, due in large part to the lobbyists of this industry.
I have an answer written down. I just don't even know if I want to go for it because I feel like this lobby, they wouldn't even have a lobby. Like, they have no business having a lobby. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to go with it. Okay. You said it was I still wrote my answer down, but you said it was the last day of October to November?
Yes.
So I just put the candy lobby.
I went with tobacco on a whim.
Okay. Well,
because I don't know. I was trying to think of like temperamental plants that farmers would be growing, but I'm not sure.
All right. Well, the answer is candy.
Oh.
It actually there's
That's a good answer, Neil.
Yep.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
So, according to Michael Downing, who is author of Spring Forward, the annual madness of daylight savings time, he says that the candy lobby also played a significant role in pushing Halloween into daylight savings time, believing that extra hour of trick-or-treating in daylight would spur more candy sales, and that it would also decrease deaths because people were not out as late because the sun would go down earlier.
Makes sense.
And there's some dispute on that, but that is pretty widely known that the candy industry lobbied hard to get daylight savings time moved into November.
I didn't even know they had a lobby. I heard last day of October, and I was like, I guess it could be candy, but
If they sell something, there's generally a lobby for it.
yeah,
That makes so much sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
does.
was totally thinking about farming.
It's the only thing, though.
And I'm
that I
aware
think-
that daylight savings doesn't actually produce more
Yeah.
sunlight.
Well,
but
and the other thing
it was
is-
to make sure farmers could, live during regular hours. and
That's
figured
not
maybe.
true.
No?
No, it was actually started in Germany, and it was so that factory workers would have more
Oh,
time after
okay.
they left their factory jobs. Yeah, a lot of people think it's the agriculture business, but
It was not?
it was not. It was German industrialism. I'm almost
Well.
positive.
I thought Benjamin Franklin had something to do with it.
I mean, I don't know. We have the internet.
I'm sure he loved daylight savings time.
I hate it.
All right.
I'd like to move to one of the 2 U.S. states that doesn't have it.
There are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arizona and Hawaii.
Oh, well, everyone's always happy there.
Well, an interesting thing, there's actually a couple of Native American tribes in Arizona that do adhere to daylight savings time, which means that you can go through a town that's in a completely different time within the same state, because whether they do or do not adhere to daylight savings time.
Interesting.
Fort Wayne, Indiana is also like that.
Yeah. It's just interesting that you can decide whether or not you want to follow.
I'm going to decide that I don't want to
Yeah.
do it anymore.
So this general area at this table, we no
Because
longer.
it's pretty thoroughly messed my day up.
Yep, our recording day, that's for sure.
All right. So next question: what is converted into alcohol during brewing? You guys set?
Do you need a scientific?
I don't know because I don't know it. So,
Yeah, I'm set.
all right, Neil, what do you got?
I think it's fermented yeast. Yeast.
Okay.
I just said sugar.
The answer is sugar.
Yeah, see, I don't drink. That's.
I got to remember to stop asking so many sports and alcohol questions.
No, I love the sports ones as long as it's Bartolo Wright, but the yeast one I did not know.
Is that a real person?
It
Or
is
are you
not.
just
I was thinking of Bartolo
He was-
Colon.
Oh, okay.
The rotund one.
Yeah, it was a joke. Matt got it, the Bartolo.
I don't get sports jokes.
Well,
You'll get it later. We'll send you some facts.
So yeast is just basically the catalyst. It's the thing that does the conversion, but it's
So
not.
it's sugar, huh?
It's the
Yeah.
sugar that's actually converted into the alcohol.
They eat it, and the waste product is the alcohol.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
All right. What poetic term is a group of crows called?
Poetic term.
It means it's expressive. It's an
Okay.
expressive.
I'm not confident, but
Okay, Ken?
That's Murder of Crows.
I wrongly put epic.
Yeah.
Murder of Crows is right.
Murder of Crows is right. The poetic term is actually a clue, too, because Murders in the Rue Morgue is a well-known short story by Edgar Allan Poe, noted for crows and death and a lot of
The
that.
poetic term.
That's not even what I meant, but that's way better. So that's exactly
Accidental
what I
puns.
meant. All right. Where are the scores at now?
So, as of this last question, Ken takes the lead from Neil. It is 120 to 110, still anybody's game.
Okay, so Gordon Shumway is the lead character of this popular 80s show, although you may know him more by the acronym nickname given to him in the pilot episode.
Gordon Shumway?
Shumway.
Gordon Shumway?
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell that?
GORDONSHUMWAY.
This is a great question.
I'm very bad at
This is a great question.
80s television. What year was it?
It's just a popular 80s television show.
I'm very bad at 80s television.
And you're looking for the title of the show or the character?
The title of the show.
Thinking of all kinds of things like A-Team, and I don't think
Right.
that's right. That was too early.
Well, that was B.A. Baracus.
Yeah.
For the record, this is my favorite question.
Yeah, I think it's a great question.
All right, I'm just gonna step aside on this one because
Okay.
we could be here all day.
Gordon Shumway. Popular 80s television program.
I don't know but anybody who goes by an acronym. I don't think.
Well, I was thinking like ALF, but that's Alien Life Form. I was thinking of, I don't know why Perfect Strangers is coming to my
Powerful
head.
Knight Rider.
Kit.
Because they were
Kit.
talking about Perfect Strangers before we started recording.
That's
why.
probably what it was, yeah. I'm gonna go with. Oh no, that's 70s. I was thinking about going with Charlie's Angels. I'm just gonna go Perfect Strangers. It's wrong.
Okay.
Can I chime in on this one?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Gordon Shumway is the name for the alien life form known as Elf.
Oh, I had it.
Like ELF. It can't possibly be an acronym like ELF.
I know.
You said the acronym.
Yeah, his name's Gordon.
And
like they gave him that name?
His name is actually Gordon Shumway. They call him
Correct.
Elf. Elf is not his name.
Oh, that's why I thought it was alien life form. That's why I thought it wouldn't be the answer.
So he came from another planet. He said, "Hi, I'm Gordon."
Correct.
Essentially.
Are you kidding
in the
me?
first episode. And then the dad on the show says, we're going to call you Elf because he's an alien life form.
Oh, that makes me so
Are
mad
you
that I had that
kidding
right.
me?
No. I'm so
Why
excited
is he
by
named
that.
Gordon Shumway?
Gordon's a very popular name on the planet he's from, I imagine.
Canada.
The best is just when you're like, it can't be Elf. So,
I know. I tried not to just like stare at Neil
makes
and
me
give it
so
away.
angry.
a fun fact about me is I love Elf. And I had several Elf-themed AOL Instant Messenger names. Big fan.
What did he eat again? What was his
Cats.
cats? Right. Okay.
That was a very normal show.
That's why Elf was my favorite.
Yeah. All right, moving on. How many metrical feet are found in a line of iambic pentameter?
How many what?
How many metrical feet are found in a line of iambic pentameter?
I don't know.
Iambic pentameter is
I
Shakespeare.
know what that is.
But
I
yeah,
don't
what
know
is a
what the-
metrical feet? What is that? How many metrical feet?
I'm in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And what did you say, Ken?
Pentameter. 5.
Okay.
I said 6.
6. So an iamb is a metrical foot that consists of an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. Meter refers to a regular rhythmic pattern in poetry. Penta means 5. So there are 5. Ken is correct.
Gotta go to the roots, man.
I know. I just didn't.
like
I
that-
felt pressure. I didn't want to think through it enough.
Yeah.
Didn't think of pentatonics. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting is that it's mostly used in English because it works better with the stressing of the second syllable in the English language. So that's why it's found a lot in Shakespeare plays that are written in English.
So my favorite verse of Perfect Iambic Pentameter is often attributed as John Keats' last words, and it's "My chest of books divide amongst my friends."
If that would have helped anyone get the answer, I don't know.
It wouldn't have, but it's just my favorite bit of Perfect Iambic Pentameter.
All right. So next question. Which hit song prompted Polaroid to release a statement condemning the shaking or waving of their pictures?
I'm in.
Okay.
Same.
Neil?
Hey ya.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah.
Hey Ya is correct. It was interesting at the time. There weren't too many people who still use Polaroid films, but they've kind of made a comeback in the last
They have made
10
a
years.
comeback. If you're anywhere near an Urban Outfitters, beware your picture might be put on some sort of cork board somewhere in Polaroid form.
And it should be noted that shaking the Polaroid pictures has never been a good thing, even before Hey Ya.
I don't.
correct.
Does it really do anything? Can it mess up the film?
It probably could a little bit, and not by much,
I
but
think
it
Kodak
does
would know.
not.
They
It
tell you
does
not
not
to.
increase the speed of development.
I'm sure they were just like, just let them say it as bringing us business.
So before Google launched Gmail, Gmail was the free email service provided for fans of this cartoon strip. Just don't try to access it on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have a good answer.
Yep. Same.
Ken?
Well, Garfield.
Okay.
Garfield?
Garfield is correct. Probably could have gone without the Monday clue, but I wasn't sure if...
I got it from the G.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Because you said comic strip. I was trying to think of the only comic strip.
Either way,
strips I
we're
knew
having
that
a
were
pretty
G.
strong game
It's
today.
Yeah.
funny. I knew that without the Monday clue.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great question though.
All right. Which of Santa's reindeer comes last alphabetically? You have people
Just all writing.
furiously writing down all of the reindeer.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Ken is in.
Did you say which one comes last alphabetically or
Correct.
first?
Last.
Last, okay. Okay, I'm in.
All right. Ken, what do you got?
It's gonna be Vixen.
It is Vixen, and what made me think of that, time for another impression, would be Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. So I got Vixen from there.
Yep, those are the reindeer. Vixen
That's
being
how you
last.
know the reindeer.
That's how I remember
Not
it.
the
Yeah.
song.
No, I remember it from Jingle All the Way when he goes, I won the Turbo Man. Martin Mull, he like pulls his ponytail, yeah. Okay.
That's as good a reason
A
as any.
Schwarzenegger impression every episode that's the new goal.
Oh, I think it won't be hard to get there.
All right. So last question of round 2. What's the score going into the question?
Oh, so last question of round 2 score is 160 to 140. Ken with the slight advantage.
What was the fruity hangout of the 90210 gang?
Oh. Oh man, that's before my time.
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time too, and I'm thinking of the Saved by the Bell hangout. That's in my head, confusing me.
The Max.
Yeah.
No, you want Central Perk, obviously, from Friends.
You guys are in?
Yeah.
All right. Neil, what do you got?
The Old Banana Club.
Okay. Great answer.
I just said the Coconut Club.
The correct answer is the Peach Pit.
Oh, yeah,
the Peach
yeah,
Pit.
yeah. Okay.
Obviously.
Now I remember.
Obviously, the Peach Pit.
The Peach Pit. I thought maybe you could have gotten to it through.
I have heard that before.
Oh, you know what? That was my mistake. I should have just gone through all the fruits and it might have stuck.
If you heard it out loud, Peach, then.
Go through every fruit.
All right.
Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So
through all the fruit.
So scores at the end of regulation. Still the same as our update before. Ken with a slight lead at 160. Neil, 140.
All right, so going into the final round, Ken is up 160 to 140. There's a lot of points on the board. We're going to the final round now, where you can wager up to 30 points in the 5 questions, as long as you have the points, and they all have the points. Okay, so your 5 categories are going to be lyricist, word origin, U.S. history, Latin, and alternative sports facts.
And once you have your wagers in, gentlemen, if you want to hand them on over to me.
Going hard in the paint, Neil?
Thinking about it.
You gonna go hard in the paint? What are you doing there, Neil? Huh?
I don't know what I'm doing, really. I'm sure the ones that I did wager on and the amount that I wagered, I'm going to get wrong. And the ones that I wagered low,
I feel pretty good about our rate of correct answers throughout this game.
We're pretty even. That's why we're such a good team.
Because we know all the same answers.
Yes.
Wouldn't that mean you're probably less likely to
Because we have the same strengths and weaknesses.
But we feel good about ourselves.
And have fun doing it.
We could celebrate when we get them right together.
All right.
All right, so all the wagers are locked in? All right, so wagers are locked in. So I'm going to read these questions one at a time and give you a chance to answer. So in the category of lyricist, this artist is responsible for writing Holla Back Girl, Rock Your Body, and Milkshake.
You said that was Holla Back Girl.
Mm-hmm. Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake and Milkshake. In the category word origin, what common phrase is derived from a 1776 fable written about a poor girl who could only afford one shoe?
What phrase?
Yes, a common phrase is derived from a 1776 fable written about a poor girl who could only afford one shoe.
All right. I am in on that.
Okay. In U.S. history, this patriot leader organized the Boston Tea Party in 1773. It was probably BYOB. In Latin, what is the Latin phrase that translates roughly to "you may have the body"?
I believe Schwarzenegger famously said it.
Yeah, he would have. Right.
You may have the body. You may have the body?
Correct. I may have unintentionally ramped up the difficulty for the final questions.
Jeez, man.
You guys ready for the last one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. In alternate sports facts, this 1980s expansion NBA team were nearly named the Challengers, the Astronauts, and the Juice.
Okay.
Ooh, can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah.
The Juice. That would have been great.
This 1980s expansion NBA team were nearly named the Challengers, the Astronauts, and the Juice.
All right. I had an answer, but then I changed it, and now it's going to be the one that I crossed out. Okay. I still need a little bit of time for that first one.
Okay.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. This artist is responsible for writing Holla Back Girl, Rock Your Body, and Milkshake. Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani, Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake, and Milkshake by Kellis.
Well, I think I got one of those, at least. Maybe 2 or 3.
Well, so I'll add in another clue for lyricist because it seems like it's harder than I thought. The residuals from those alone must have made him quite happy.
Okay.
Wasn't sure if
Looks
that was
like everybody's changing their answer there.
No, that person was in my head because he's worked with Justin Timberlake quite a bit. He's working on a new album with him right now, and I thought it would have been too easy, but I'm glad you said that. Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so let's go through it. What did you wager on lyricist Ken?
I put 10 on that one.
Okay.
I put 20.
All right. What was your answer?
I think we probably both put Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell Williams was correct. It had to have been the clue, right? Before that, or?
Well, I had Pharrell, but then for some reason, I had two people in my head. I had Pharrell, and then I know that Meghan Trainor has written a ton of music for pop stars, and I thought maybe you would go like kind of a deeper cut with that one, but then the clue then like solidified.
I was way off until I got the clue. So
yeah.
All right. So in word origin, what were your wagers, Ken? First.
I put 10 in that one.
Put 0.
All right. So what was your answer?
Put the shoes on the other foot.
Okay.
I put a line through the answer box.
Okay. So the correct answer is Goody Two Shoes. Goody was originally a plate form of a dress for a poor married woman, a shortening of good wife. All right. In U.S. history, what were the wagers, Ken?
I went 20 on this one.
Oh, I'm done. I went 0.
0. All right. And what was the answer?
Samuel Adams.
Damn, I put Sam Adams.
Of the Sons of Liberty.
Sam Adams is correct. All right. In Latin.
And beer fame.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure, so I added the BYOB to make it.
That was helpful.
Sure. Yeah. So in Latin, how confident were you in Latin, Ken?
Well, I drew a line through the answer box.
What was your wager?
10 on that one.
Okay.
I put 0, and since you said the body, I did a famous line of Jesse the Body Ventura of if it bleeds, you can kill it.
All right. Well, the correct answer was habeas corpus. It refers to the unlawful detention of a person.
Habeas corpus?
That is forbidden by law. Yeah.
I also made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's I ain't got time to bleed. If it bleeds, you can kill it. As Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry. I ain't got time to bleed.
Well, then you're still awarded 0 points for that.
I'm still awarded 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh man.
All right. So we're undoing all the good we did earlier in these rounds. In alternative sports facts, how confident were you, Ken? I'm gonna guess 0.
0 confident.
I put 20.
20 for Neil. All right. What was your answer?
It comes down to this. I put the Rockets, if that's a basketball team, maybe.
Rockets is a really good answer.
So I thought Houston Rockets first, and I crossed it out because I thought that's too easy of an answer, and I feel like they've been around longer, right, than the 80s because of some of our favorite basketball players we talked about. When you said Challenger and astronauts, I thought of the one place that astronauts fly out of a lot, which is Florida, and I thought of the Orlando Magic.
The correct answer is the Orlando Magic.
I thought they were older.
Yeah, the Orlando Magic and Miami Heat were both expansion teams in the 80s, and they both had competitions to come up with the name. And a lot of those names, they were very nearly named the Challengers, but they weren't sure if that was inappropriate at the time. So,
Probably.
So they changed it. So, Jeff, what are the final scores?
So there is no real final score yet.
Oh, no.
Tallies are in, and it is still a tie game.
Our last game we played was a tie, too.
170 to 170.
We're just too evenly matched.
I can't. Our first test game audience that we did before we started recording real episodes, Ken and I ended in a tie, and then I lost on a BS question.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because it's so even, it's so hard, those questions. I mean,
do we do a tiebreaker question, or how do we want to end this? Are we just going to say it's a
tiebreaker?
Yeah, got to do a tiebreaker question. There's no sense in
first person to
ending it any other way.
To tap, I guess. Huh?
Okay. Well, due to all the Arnold Schwarzenegger references, I do have a question that's fairly appropriate. So for the game, the term "going commando" originated during this war. Commando being my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Are we just saying the first to ring in?
No, you can both write it down.
Okay.
And if they're both right, then we have to do it again.
All right.
Great Mark Lester.
Okay.
All right. Neil, we'll start with you.
This is going to bite me in the ass. I did have World War I for some reason. That was my gut, but I just changed it to Vietnam.
Okay.
I said Vietnam.
Correct answer is Vietnam. American soldiers spent long times in hot
It
Cuban
seems like a
jungles.
Vietnam thing.
Yeah.
Well, once I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, going commando, it's hot outside. I was like, I have to go
going
Vietnam.
without tight-fitting undergarments was thought to prevent the risk of fungal infections.
Must be why in every Vietnam movie, no one has any shirt under their bulletproof vests.
Right.
Always shirtless.
It's hot there. You know?
All right, so let's try that again. Prior to Trump, who was the last Republican presidential candidate to win with a ticket not including a Bush or Nixon?
Oh, I want to play so bad.
I'm prepared.
All right, I'm good.
I'm prepared for what happens.
What did you say?
Eisenhower.
Okay.
Eisenhower.
The correct answer, it goes all the way back to Herbert Hoover, the 31st president.
Nixon was vice president for Eisenhower.
Yeah, and then he became president from that. Yeah, it goes all the way back to Hoover without a Bush or Nixon on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
It does.
We need that cream to rise to the top. It's not happening.
All right, well, let's try this again. Teddy Roosevelt was the first president to travel outside the U.S. to this 80s hair metal country of choice.
Really? Neil's got a look of pure focus.
80s hair metal.
Am I going to win on this question, Neil? You going to let it go on this?
Yeah, I know. This is bad. I love 80s hair metal. 80s hair metal country
of choice.
Okay.
All right. We'll
Figure it out?
Yeah.
We'll start with Neil.
Panama?
Panama!
Oh, man.
I was Panama.
Because what happened was I was thinking, and I was like, I love Van Halen.
Overthinking it.
Well, I love Van Halen. I'm like, if this is a Van Halen answer and I get it wrong, I'm going to be so pissed. And I was like, oh, Panama.
Yeah, they dug the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end it with this. Get within the closest degrees. What angle does the Leaning Tower of Pisa actually lean? Whoever's closest.
Oh. So do you mean how far off?
Correct. What is the angle of its lean?
From 90 degrees.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what did you say, Neil?
73.
Okay.
Said 20 degrees.
All right. So
I misread the question.
After restoration work,
It's like
let's see who wins.
Repeat the question real quick. No,
it's too late.
I don't want to re-answer. I just want to know what the question, how I messed up.
At what angle does the Leaning Tower of Pisa actually lean?
where did you?
So, just my thinking, I was thinking of a 90-degree angle, and for some reason, because I'm terrible at math, I was thinking that straight up was 90, and I was just subtracting going left.
It's like what off of the 90-degree angle was.
Yeah, and so I did the opposite. Instead of saying 27, I said 73.
Right. What did you say, Ken?
I said 20.
20. So the correct answer is 4. It's
4
actually,
degrees.
It's barely leaning. It was leaning at 5.5 degrees, and then there was restoration work in the 1990 and 2001 to get it back to 4 degrees. So you were only 71 degrees off, Neil. So
this is the second time we've been exactly
My
the same.
answer was kind of embarrassing too.
Second time we've been neck and neck through playoffs. How many questions did we answer correctly at the same time?
3.
So and you beat me on a numbers question, a shot in the dark.
Oh, good.
All right, so I guess that'll wrap it up today. Ken, today is the cream of the crop.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Neil will get there one day.
To the top.
So thank you so much for joining us today. We had another great game today. And you can tweet your questions at us at TrivialityPod or send them to us directly at trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to have any of your user questions. We just like hearing from our fans, so greatly appreciated. Thanks again. My name is Jeff, and that was Triviality.
Yeah, I got a madman in my studio, and help me! You can't just Sasha, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comic Cupid, Donna Blitzen. What? Yeah, you see, I couldn't get through on the phone. Did it win? No, it's not that simple! No, it's... Wait. You're too late. I already got the right answer. I won. Yeah.